This one looks like it has the most competitive field as far as pretty good horses in the field overall. Uh, Early race on the card. Keep that in mind. Santa Anita, sixth race, 5:30 Eastern. It should go off at. And taking a look at the top, I mean, you have really four horses that are considered the top contenders. Right now, the odds-on favorite. What is it? Practical Move at 8-5.
Yeah, well, he's the favorite. He hasn't done anything wrong. He has 6 starts. He's coming from the Actine barn. He's making little improvements, which is good. You want to see little improvements and not that big forward move where they have an opportunity to react off of it. But that being said, I mean, look at a horse like Go Rocket Ride. Last time he ran, Chad was talking about him. The fact that Mandela took him right out of a maiden race and threw him into San Felipe has to mean something. So this horse certainly is going to have more room for improvement.
And he ran a 9.
Yeah, I mean, National Treasure has a number as a 2-year-old. You can make a case for him. Skinner got good as a 3-year-old. You can make a case for him. So there's a lot of ways to go. I think you may want to avoid the favorite in this race, only because, not that he can't win, because he could certainly win, but he's not that much better than other horses in the race, and he's going to be a lot shorter price.
He's a little bit more proven and has a nice longer sheet line.
The only thing is, though, I'll say, John, is he didn't have to win that first race back. I don't think Tim Yakteen really had him geared up for a huge effort off the bench. And he's learned a lot training these Bob Baffert horses on how to get a horse to the Derby and all that kind of stuff. He worked for Bob for a long time. When you go back and you watch the replay of the last race on the San Felipe, which a lot of these horses are coming out of the same race.
Right.
And I mean, and look, Ramon Vasquez gave him a great ride. Take nothing away from the ride Ramon Vasquez gave him. And just kind of opened up and he did his thing. He was always traveling so comfortably, so easily. He was in the bridle throughout the race. I went back, I was watching, when we were doing some prep work for the show today, and I was watching this race. I watched it a few times to watch all the other horses in the race and the contenders in the race. And, really nobody had an excuse. I know Skinner's out at the parking lot of Hollywood Park when he starts the race, and he closes okay, and Go Rocket Ride, he kind of re-engages while he's still a little green early on, but nobody traveled better throughout the race than Practical Move, and I think that people just don't give Tim Yakteen a lot of credit. They kind of make fun of him because he gets these Baffert horses that aren't really his horses and they don't improve or whatever, but this is a really nice horse. And it'd be interesting to see Chad Brown get his first Kentucky Derby win as a breeder instead of as a trainer. So I think Practical Move is actually the horse to beat, and he's going to be my top selection in here. I think he's going to continue to improve.
By the way, will Practical Move go off as the favorite?
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Okay. And
he's beating everyone that he's facing in this, for the most part. He beat Skinner last time. He beat Go Rocket Ride last time.
Which of the other 3 horses will have, do you think, the best odds?
The best odds?
Who's going to drop a little bit to like maybe 6-1?
I don't think any of them will be a 6-1.
You think they're all going to be between like 2 and 4-1?
No, I would think Practical Move will be 8-5.
Okay.
I think I would imagine the second choice. I mean, Go Rocket Ride ended up being the co-favorite of the San Felipe last time. It took a lot of money. So obviously, there's no secret out on his talent or his ability. Skinner, the way he closed, I would think they would, people would give him another chance. And National Treasure is Bad Baffertine. So, look, National Treasure to me is the horse that, you take a shot at, you take a swing at. John Velasquez was going to go to Keeneland and ride him, gave up all his other mounts at Keeneland to stay here and ride him in Santa Anita. Obviously, was scratched from the San Felipe when we liked him. He had a little bit of a foot bruise, but he comes in. He's got 4 6-furlong workouts. I don't think fitness is going to be an issue for him. He ran a pretty good race in the Breeders' Cup behind Forte, and we haven't really seen him since. So, look, it's not ideal circumstances for him to be making this next start, but to me, he's the one that is the least exposed. All the other horses had a crack at Practical Move for the most part, or they're just breaking their maiden. National Treasure, the ceiling could be higher, and he's still a horse that we haven't maybe seen his best days yet. So if he's over the foot, which I think he is. It was interesting that they made a move. They were supposed to go to the Bluegrass, changed it up last minute to run in Santa Anita, even though they knew how good Practical Move is. It's in the same barn. They're stablemate supposedly. So I think National Treasure would be my second choice here, and maybe you get 7-2 on him, 4-1. I don't know.
Well, let's see. They're going to be lining up in the gate together, so National Treasure will be able to turn his head and go, "Hey, aren't you the horse that I beat last September?" Because he is the one that beat him. You were saying, and all the other horses haven't beaten him. So that is that's. And I know it's early in their careers, but hey, he's got something. He's got a head up on him. So
yeah, and I think Go Rocket Ride has another forward move off in him. It's only his third lifetime start. He got beaten by Practical Move last time out, but it was his first time around 2 turns. It was only his second lifetime start, and he still made a forward move on the sheets. So I think he's got another forward move in him, and that's the horse that I like. If someone's beating him, I think it's Go Rocket Ride.
Yeah, and imagine if he runs an 8 or a 7 or a 6 and wins. That sheet line is going to look awfully impressive.
Yeah,
in his first 3 races. I mean, because how many horses have you seen in the first 2 races? Not many that have started off 10-9.
Well, you got one coming up in the Wood. A horse that ran 12-9, I believe, or 12-8, whatever it was. Yeah. So you're going to see that in about 5 minutes. But listen, I don't know. That's who I like. My pick is Go Rocket Ride.
By the way, Skinner is the best sheet number in the race, correct? 7?
That was a Lasik 7, but yes.
Okay.
National Treasure has a 9 as a 2-year-old, which is stronger than a 7 this year. I'd rather run a 9 as a 2-year-old than run a 7 as a 3-year-old.
As far as, because we've mainly touched up on the favorites, what about, low expectations, the 9 at 30-1? He's going to try to get the lead. He hit the 13 in March at Santa Anita, bounced to the 17. Maybe he's ready to go back in the right direction, but, he's got to go up against 4 really good horses. That's the problem.
He's breaking from an extreme outside post. He came off of Lasix 2 starts back. 2 and 3 starts back. Both of those good races were on Lasix,
okay.
So I don't
think. What I can say about him is his first 4 starts were on turf. Since he switched to dirt, he is 2 wins and a second from 3 starts. But I think he's outclassed here.
And what do you know at all, if anything, about the Japanese horse?
Yeah, so this is actually funny, and we had a viewer comment about this last week. So because the Japanese horses have enjoyed so much success over the last 2 years, and especially in these international races, Saudi, Dubai, the Breeders' Cup, everybody automatically jumps to think that this horse is a natural contender. He's 8-1. The problem is, at the end of the day, there's 2 main different racetracks in Japan. There's the NAR circuit, which is Tokyo, which is the main horses. That's where Derma Satagaki was, and Contour, and all those kind of horses that were going to the Derby. This horse is actually in the other part of Japan, which is kind of like their AA program. Okay, for him to win would be the ultimate surprise to people in Japan, let alone people in America.
Okay.
So he comes in with the hoopla. It's a great dream. The trainers always dreamed about winning the Santa Anita Derby. He breezed 53-4. I think he was supposed to breeze out of the gate actually this morning. I haven't gotten any word on how that went. But I would be very surprised if this horse won, despite the fact that he has a very nice record, 4 wins from 5 starts and second by a neck. He hasn't been facing the quality of horse that he's going to face here on Saturday. So I'm not giving him much of a chance here on Saturday.
That's Mandarin Hero, the 8 horse right now at 8-1. All right, so John, you're going to go with the 3. Go Rocket Ride?
Yes, sir.
So far, all 3s for John. Chad, you going with Practical Move first?
I am a chalk-eating weasel in this race. I'll take Practical Move over National Treasure, playing the exacta.
All right. Yeah, I like the Practical Move as well. I'm gonna put low expectations in there, but I know I'm not going to really have much of a chance, but I'll throw a few bucks in the exacta to see if I can get lucky. All right, so that's going to be an interesting foursome there. It's a really tough field compared to the other two races, including the Wood that we're going to talk about right now.